Oh, hey.
We're live on Instagram. We'll be live on Facebook pretty soon.
There we are.
All right, there we are. Welcome back. It's Tuesdays. I hope we're really on the Families of Character page for Facebook. So, welcome to Tuesday.
Hello, Tuesday.
Hello, Tuesday. This is not Jordan.
But hi, y'all. That's a shout out since she's not here.
Yeah, Jordan is sick. And so Jordan and I have come live every week from the Families of Character page. And this week we had our first little incident where she was sick. One of us was sick.
It was a year, though.
It was a whole year. So
And this is the first time I've had to fill in. So that's a bonus.
So who
probably
is
for
this?
all of you out there.
I know, right? Who is this sitting next to me? So we decided yesterday, when Jordan was down for the count, we decided, you know what? Let's just bring Donnie on. You guys hear about him all the time.
And I can't say no to anything.
Boundaries, dude, boundaries. So this week, Donnie is the fill-in for Jordan. So we are super appreciative, and we actually have a really fun topic. So just real quick, let me remind you, Jordan and I come live every week on the Families of Character page because we are trying to build a community of intentional parents that all want the same thing for their kids. They're all like-minded parents that want the same thing. So they're focusing on being intentional with their kids. They're focusing on being intentional with their spouse. They're focusing on raising their kids with kindness and responsibility and all that fun stuff.
And good stuff.
And good stuff. That's right. What else? I think that is the good intro to Families of Character if you've never watched us. So please be patient with us. We're bouncing back. Donnie doesn't have any social media. None. Which, yeah.
Is that allowed in 2020?
No, I don't know. Don't admit that. But because of that...
I didn't. You just outed me.
I did out you. Because of that, we've got my phone going on Instagram and my computer going on Facebook. So if there's any technical difficulties, don't blame us. Blame technology. So we did
You can blame me. I won't be here next week.
We had some technical difficulties jumping on, and that's why we're a little bit late. But anyway, let's jump into everything because I know when you're watching this after the fact, you don't want to listen to all that blah, blah, blah. This week, all right, I'm restarting. All right, so last week, actually, Jordan and I, we gave a talk to a group of about 100 people about why it's important to raise your kids with character. And we surveyed that group after the fact with a couple survey questions. And one of the results that we got back from that question, one of the questions was outstanding. Like, we did not anticipate this answer at all. So the question that we asked them was, I have to read it, so bear with me. How often do you find yourself wishing you had more one-on-one time with your spouse?
Hopefully a lot.
Hopefully a lot. That's right. Here's the three...
One-on-one time with your spouse.
Right? Yeah,
all right.
That's what we're going to talk about today. So here's the three the three ways they could answer it. A, I feel fully connected and satisfied with the time I spend with him or her. B, we are two ships passing in the night and would love regular scheduled time to connect. C, time with my spouse, what's that? Our kids take top priority. So, how do you think everyone answered? How would you have answered?
Well, I sure hope it wasn't C, because kids can get in the way.
That's true.
Or you can let them, I guess.
True. That's true.
So how did they answer?
Well, it was shocking. I'm not even blowing this out of proportion. Like, this is really how everyone answered. We got one survey result back that said, I feel fully connected and satisfied with my time spent with him or her. That was it. And then everyone else answered, we are two ships passing in the night and would love regularly scheduled time to connect.
Well, now's your opportunity.
Now we're going to talk about it, people. When Jordan was sick, we thought it was a perfect opportunity to come live and talk about how do you schedule regularly schedule time with your spouse. Like, how do you make that a priority, right?
You put it on your schedule.
Jordan reminded me yesterday that Donnie and I have actually been doing this every Monday for the past year. So she said, this is great. Let's talk about it. So just let's give them a little bit of history, because a lot of people, they've never met you.
That's right.
They don't know us. And so why don't you tell them a little bit about us?
Okay. We've been married 15 years.
15 years.
16 in June. We've got 4 kids, which is
A lot
of kids sometimes.
A lot of kids.
Oh, you haven't told them about our kids?
We've
Sure
told
you
them.
have.
We've told them. I think it solidifies it more when they see us
Yeah.
on camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, keep
What
going.
else do you want me to say?
Oh, well, okay, you work, obviously.
I do.
You
I have a
work-
full-time job.
Full-time job, 40 to 50
Sarah
hours a week.
works 2 full-time jobs and raises our children and makes my lunch,
That's right.
which is so sweet.
Yeah, it's so sweet. Yeah. I know, I've always had this desire to have multiple streams of income. I have no idea why. We'll dive into that another day. But, so yeah, that's a little bit about our life. Obviously, we are super busy.
We can be.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's busy though.
Everyone's busy. That's a good point. Okay, good point.
That's the
So,
number one answer. If you ask anyone,
that
how are
is
things? Busy.
busy.
That's
true.
how they answer.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you fit date night into busy?
Let's answer that.
Okay.
So yesterday on our stories, we posed the question, like, what are some of the questions you guys wanted us to answer about how we fit date night into our lives regularly? Because we do a date night every single week, and we got a ton of questions. I have sticky notes everywhere. I have all the questions written down. So what I tried to do before our live is categorize them into different categories and kind of lump some of the same questions together. So here we go. All right.
15 minutes probably isn't enough for
Probably not.
this topic.
Probably not. So first, let's see.
How do we get it into our schedule?
Yeah, how did we even start? Why don't you
Yeah.
tell the story about how we even started? Why we decided to make it a priority?
Well, we needed to practice the virtue of orderliness. We
Yeah.
needed to order our finances, so we went through a financial planning class and got our budget in order, and we put it as a line item in our monthly budget
That's right.
every month.
That's right. Every month.
So that's
how it got started. Pretty simple.
if you have the money for date night, then you can schedule your date night without any shame, without any fear,
And without any guilt.
and without any guilt.
That's right. So, and I think if you just realign some of your finances, you'll find that you do have the time for date night. It was interesting. So when we took this class, the most interesting thing for Donnie and I was we were working on our budget, and he said, or I said, I don't think it's fair for me to have money for my nails and my hair. And he goes, you're worthy of that. Like, you deserve that. And that totally flipped a switch in my head. And that had us kind of come to terms with we as a couple are worthy of date night as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So that's kind of how we got to date night once a week. Okay. Now, some of the questions. All right. Where do I even start? All right. This is a great one. Do we take turns picking a spot, or do we go to the same place every week? We had fun talking about this one.
We typically go to the same place.
Yeah.
Every single week.
Every week. But that's more so due to my personality, just because we were talking about this last night, and we decided, like, you definitely have to identify your couple personality, right?
You do.
Everyone has an individual personality, but why?
Oh, our video.
Oh, no. Oh, hold on, Facebook. Let's see if we can come back on
Go
Facebook.
back.
There was an error. Try refreshing. Why is it paused? I don't know. We'll just keep doing this on Instagram. So
Okay.
that's such a bummer. All right. So we decided to identify that we have a couple's personality, and our couple personality is that we just like routine. We like it more so for me. He doesn't mind it, so we go to the same place every night every week for dinner. Right?
We do.
Yeah.
We
And
do.
what was one of the things you said was key to identifying when you pick like a date night?
Your date
Yeah.
night your date night should be a place where you can actually talk to
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
Talking to each other is a very important aspect of date night.
Yeah, that's true. So it can't, like someone said, what about movies and stuff like that? And movies are fun, but
Yeah.
movies are fun, but
But you
can't
can't
have a
talk to each
conversation.
other. So
Yeah.
you could I'm no judge of what type of makes the perfect date night, but you do have to spend intentional time with your spouse during your date night so that you can talk.
We're back on Facebook.
Oh, and we're back on Facebook.
Back on Facebook. And I'm going to have to figure out how to splice them together.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, like, you have to make conversation a priority. But what was the one thing that you said that was really hit the nail on the head about growth?
Oh, well, date night, you should strive to make date night a opportunity for growth.
Yes. Yeah.
It can be slow growth, small, or it can be something big. If you haven't been doing date night, you'll probably grow very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. So opportunity for growth. That's why we always go. We know the atmosphere. We know that we can talk. I don't have to make any decisions. I'm horrible about making decisions about when I want to eat for dinner, which is why we always pick the same place.
Yeah.
So I just know we walk in, we can jump into conversation. So what about if your kids are sick or have scheduled sports?
I think you have to, well, obviously you have to put sick kids as a priority.
Yep.
You got to take care of your kids. And that sometimes you have to, maybe that means get them some chicken soup, put them to bed, and then have date night after they're in bed at your home.
Yeah, just like realign yourselves and.
That's right.
And
we had date night at home last night.
That's true. Did we already tell them that story?
I don't think so.
We didn't?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, we did have date night last night at home.
Yeah, we didn't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere.
No, and our kids said, "Are you going out to dinner tonight?" So our kids expect it. Like, they know that Monday night is our date night, and they said, "Are you going out to dinner tonight?" And we were like, "No, we're gonna like shift a little things because of different circumstances, but we're gonna have our date night after you guys go to bed." And we did. That's important. Our kids recognize, and they actually see us having date night. So yeah, it's important. Yeah. We put the kids to bed, and then we did like we watched a motivational 60-minute
That's right. We
thing.
Grew as individuals, and then we talked about it as a couple so that we would know how the other person was growing.
Yeah, it was awesome. What about sports? So we did have a situation last year where sports practice was scheduled on a Monday night.
Yep.
What did we do?
We rescheduled our Mondays to Thursdays.
Yep, we did. And that was the priority for the week.
That's right.
Yep.
Again, you just got to put it on the calendar. If you have lots of kids all in sports every single day of the week, you don't have any room for it to make it a priority, so you just have to. Something has to be sacrificed so that you can actually grow and spend time with the person that you loved and started your family with.
Yeah, that's so nice to hear that. We talked about budget. We talked about what if you get a sick kid. Someone asked, like, did you decide to do like a trial run for a month to see if this worked out, or did you just jump back all in and commit to it?
All in.
We all in.
You're married.
We're all in people.
It's not like you're courting. I mean, obviously you should be courting throughout and dating throughout your marriage, but it's not like you're just trying to learn who this person is. Yeah. This is the person you're married to. So make a commitment, spend some time with them.
That's right. The one person on Instagram said, "Do you prefer it to be intentional or spontaneous when it comes to date night?" So obviously we're intentional about it. Intentional
in the sense that we want to make sure that we grow out of the date night.
Yeah.
So we're going to accomplish something. We could talk about finances. We could talk about calendar. We could talk about logistical things. What's happening, just in the next 2 weeks or the next week or whatever, if we haven't had time to connect about that. Or we could even, or it can be something much more or bigger, like your values or your dreams or what your goals are for the month and how you need the other person in your party to support you in that.
Yeah. So that kind of feeds into the question that we got: is there topics of conversation that are off topic? And I think we just answered that question.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And that question about date night, I think that probably meant intentional versus spontaneous. There might have been a little bit of should it be a planned out romantic dinner?
Oh, good point. Yeah. I don't think it matters.
It doesn't have to be every
time
single
together.
time.
Yeah. Obviously, there's like special times, like when it's an anniversary or a birthday, or you're celebrating like the day you met or something like that, or celebrating the day you decided to get married.
Look at it as an opportunity to add some romance to your relationship.
There you go. Love it.
Be spontaneous with so be intentional with scheduling your date night, and be spontaneous with what you bring to your date night.
There you go. I love it. So I think we covered a lot of the questions. Like I said, I tried to batch them. Intentionality. What do you do about babysitters? We didn't cover that. So we scheduled it into our budget. We planned it into our budget. It's part of our date night budget.
Yeah.
And then we have like a babysitter that we relied on. And then your kids get to the point where they get old enough to watch themselves. And that is the best time. So they grow up. And then you don't really need a babysitter all that often. And when you do and you don't have a babysitter, then it's kind of but for the most part, like we just scheduled it into our budget for a long time. Right. And yeah, I don't know. What are some ideas for date nights at home? That was another big one.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's so many games out there that just have cards, conversational games.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a game that someone wins, which I have a little bit of issue with.
Yeah, pretty competitive.
But it gives you an activity,
yeah.
Right? Some people maybe they like puzzles or learn how to, I don't know, a new language together, something like that.
Something like that. What are some of you guys obviously, like you clearly date your spouse, so what are some of the ways that you guys, like throw out some ideas for other people who are going to watch this post video and they can gain ideas from that too. It's a community of people, remember that? So it's not just coming from us, it's coming from you guys too. I have no idea how much time we've been on. We came on late. We had technical difficulties with Facebook. We are just kind of losing our minds over here. So we're going to go now because he has to get back to work and I have to get to work at Families of Character. But we wanted to thank you guys so much. We hope that this conversation you can take it back to your spouse and you can spur on more conversation with your spouse and maybe institute a date night that works for your schedule on a weekly basis. Oh, the biggest thing, real quick, this is what I'm going to close with, because I think the biggest thing that we learned from a year of date nights is if we don't, there's like one or two few times where we didn't do a date night during the week.
Right.
And if we did not do that, we were completely off kilter. Like,
what do you mean by that?
We started to really crave that time together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we started to see like we need it for our family to function properly.
We have to be connected first.
We have to be connected first. And so when we missed that, it's a big cluster for the rest of the week. So we tried to make it up. Anyway, all right. With that, we're going to close. And join us next week. Jordan will be back. She's on the mend. Donnie will be back at work. And there's tons of resources on our Families of Character blog about date nights and stuff like that. And we just hope that you guys can share this. I will get the right video from Instagram and stick it onto Facebook, but we hope that you guys can share this. We'll put it on our YouTube channel as well, and we hope it was inspirational. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao. Cheers.
Cheers, ciao, whatever it is. End.